In this video we will discuss the topic, can a dog be too much of a dog? And to give a quick answer, yes they can. And why is this? Because dogs are domesticated. A lot of people think that they can be used by anyone, which in my opinion is not the case. So first off, a dog is still an animal, and also people don't get along all the time or are not in control of their own children. That's our children that they have produced and nourished from infancy. But a dog is a different type of species than a human, so also needs a different approach. If you treat dogs like humans, you might think that you elevate the dog in a sense and give it more honor than you would do if you would treat it like a dog. But this is not the case. You try to fit a square to a round hole, which is not a good thing. A dog has different needs and should be approached differently. And by elevating it to child status, you're asking for problems, in my opinion. And many opinions of people that know about dogs. Also, a lot of dogs that are treated like humans or as toys develop behavioral problems. So it depends on what you want with a dog. And if you're not able to provide that, then you should not get a dog. Same with if a dog has like almost all dogs have, they have a sense that they need to exercise. But one breed needs a lot more exercise than another breed. So for example, if you take the pug, that head is so deformed, and also in this heat it would not last long. I've seen pug owners just walking their dog one block and that would be enough. But for example, Patterdale, which is a similar size, could easily do 20 to 40 fold the exercise of a very healthy pug. So not a pug that is only getting around one block and then is passed out. So this should be taken into consideration. Also, if a dog is bred for performance, there are different characteristics in that type of dog. They have a different character. Oftentimes you know more what you are getting, but also you get more temperament out of your dog. A dog, for example, bred to engage prey, a hunting dog, even a draadhaar or performance-bred Heidewachtel or even spaniel or beagle, bred for work, will be different as compared to a dog that's bred for show. Dog bred for show purposes or being a pet oftentimes has a character that is not steadfast and is also quite meek. So those hunting dogs, even a hunting bred beagle or a dachshund, will have a lot more character than your average bigger dog of show or pet breeding. And that could get you into trouble, especially if that bigger dog tries to exert its dominance and the smaller dog is not having it. There will be a big conflict. And if you have a dog that is more of a warrior type, almost all working bred terriers could be placed in that category, but also bull terriers and working bred shepherds like Malinois or German shepherds, which is almost not worked anymore, but even those that are still being worked have a different character. And also the Dutch shepherd, of course, which is like the Malinois, a performance-bred animal, and oftentimes still used for that work. And especially those lines are very effective at what they do. I see there a guy standing with his dog, and the dog already tried to attack my dog over 2 times. So I'm going to walk away again, because that owner does not take the responsibility. And again, his dog is loose. And the last time also he was loose and he attacked our dogs. It's not that I'm afraid, but this is oftentimes the wise thing to do. And why is that? Because what good am I that his dog attacks my dogs, or try to attack me? Also attack my hand one time and damage my, how do you say this, tendons in my hand. But what good is it even if my dog would take care of it and they would engage? It doesn't bring me anything. It will only make it harder for other dogs if he keeps getting into this conflicts with some dogs that are dominant, try to exert his dominance over him while the male does not have it. So it's such a funny thing that some people don't take responsibility of their dog, which results in conflict. And conflict is not a good thing for dog owners, especially for those that have a bully type dog or even terrier type dogs like I have. You better steer away from it. And I'm not saying that the owner of the other dog does not have many checks. So one check he has, he gives the dog plenty of exercise. But the thing that I would like to see is that also take responsibility, especially if your dog already attacked the dog several times and you see people approaching, that you do not put your dog on a leash. And therefore I just turn around. Make no mistake, your dog might easily beat the other dog, but that only brings you trouble. And why is that? Because there are vet bills. Even if you put your dog on a leash, there will be some discussions, even though they are pointless and completely out of order, because you were the responsible owner. But you get those things. And in my opinion, everything can happen, huh? But if you can prevent something, like I'm doing now, you're the wise person. I would of course be able to continue my journey and say, okay, I have my dogs on the leash, it's already attacked my dogs twice, and have a conversation with that guy again. But I did, and I even emailed him and asked him. So instead of calling the police and telling what he does, I say, I don't want that trouble for you, but I want to know what you're going to do about it. And he didn't respond. That's the thing. So if they don't take the responsibility, it's their choice. But you better not get sucked into that mud hole with people that have a different responsibility than you, and also suffer consequences of that. So that's an illustration of what can happen when you're walking around, and in my opinion you should not have such a type of dog, or a dog in general, especially if you understand that dogs are animals, and all animals are also responsibility, especially if you have a dog like he has for mixed breeding. You do not know the character that it will develop to. So with a purebred you might have a bigger chance of reproducing exactly like the standard. Also with working type of dogs you have a better understanding what their character probably would be. And this is something that many people do not take into consideration. They just buy a dog because it looks nice, and that's not a good thing. Also, if you get a very big dog, the bigger the dog, the more strength they have. And it might be, especially Hi.
Voor de hondjes.
Wat zeg je?
De herten voor de hondjes.
Ja, zeker. Especially if you get a bigger dog, then it might be, especially if the dog is more dominant, that you're not able to hold it. Especially when you're younger, or more frail, or older. Then it's better to get a dog that you're still able to manage, instead of placing a responsibility that you should take in other people's hands. So for example, if you have a big dominant dog and you need people to go the other way because you cannot handle your dog, this is of course not social. This is not what you want. And it can happen. I'm not saying that it's unwise if you're not able to do that, to warn and to ask. But on the other hand, you might have had this thought before you got the dog. And even if you had the dog and then you get an injury, you might not be able to do this so in the future. This is a completely different situation. I commend that you still try to take care of your dog instead of putting a dog for adoption. But if it becomes a liability, it might be a better way to place the dog with family or friends than with you if you're not able to take care of it as you should or you want to. Hope this short video helped. Have a great day. These dogs are Patterdale Terriers, also known as Black Fell. They are small dogs to medium, especially the male is more medium and the female is more on the small side. Male is 12 to 13 kilograms, female 7 kilograms approximately. That's the toy breed. See, and I also like that they are not the type of barking dogs. So also one more conclusion: if you live in a neighborhood, then it's nice that your dogs are also not a nuisance to the neighborhood. Because, for example, if you have dogs that are excessive barkers, this is a bad thing in a neighborhood. It also might be a bad thing for yourself, because even if you're living on a farm and your dog is excessively barking, it's crying wolf all the time and you will just ignore it. Instead, if you have a dog that only barks when he really thinks something is amiss, then you will check it out and then it's functional. Have a great day all. Bye bye.